How did you find the place? What are your impressions?
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I need to have a little bit of a walk around later on. But when I got in this morning, I had to work straight away. So yeah, I'm going to have a walk around now. But it looks fascinating what I've seen so far. I really want to have a go with that touchscreen down there.
It was the most impressive one, right?
Right. Well, I'm going to play.
What are the other ones?
Yeah.
What are you impressed with?
Well, that looks great. I want to go and see Google, definitely. Wherever I go, I check Google out.
Yeah, of course. So, how do companies like Google, Amazon, Facebook and Apple, whom we recognize as the big four, make such a big impact all over the world?
Yeah, tough question. I think there are lots of different ways that you could possibly answer that. I'm going to look at it from the user experience perspective, especially if you look at Amazon and Apple. They've concentrated, or it seems to me, that they've concentrated most of their efforts on user experience. And I'd contrast them with Sony. So about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, before smartphones were around, I used to have a Sony personal digital assistant, one of those old PDAs. And it was really best in class. It was 256 colors when everything else was black and white. It was 5 gig when everything else was in megabytes. It was a fantastic piece of technical kit. But it had no software to support it. So essentially it was useless. And I think what Apple have done, and Amazon as well, what they've done is not concentrate so much on the tech, they've concentrated on making it easy to use. So if I go onto the iPhone, I can press a button and buy music. I can press a button and buy a book. And I can do the same with Amazon, with Kindle. So it's less about the tech specifications, but if you want to be successful for the mass market, it's all about the user experience. And I think with the other companies, again, Google and Facebook, many ways of explaining their success. But I think one of them is, especially for Facebook, a constant willingness to reinvent themselves. So I use Facebook. A lot of people in my generation use Facebook. My children, one's 12, one's 9. They don't use Facebook at all. They've never used Facebook. They use Snapchat and Instagram. So, well, what happened with Instagram? Facebook bought it. And that's their way of staying relevant. They're not afraid to make targeted acquisitions as a method of staying top of consumers' minds. And sometimes their acquisitions don't work, but most of the time they do. So I think targeted acquisitions, reinvent yourself, and the user experience is all.
Okay. How do you describe integrated marketing? What do companies like to create this kind of effect?
Yeah, integrating marketing it's a fairly new and really powerful research technique. And the idea behind it is that we trace out the path to purchase. And we acknowledge that some of those paths to purchase are really quick. In the digital sphere, they can be almost instantaneous. You know, see a piece of display, buy, done. There's almost no path to purchase there. Other paths are more complex and they take longer to work through. So conventional TV advertising, for example, it might work to drive brand strength and brand equity over time. And we know from all the studies that Kantar, one of the WPP companies, have done with their Brand Z studies, we know how powerful that kind of work is. We can see that those companies with strong brands are also the most profitable companies. Now, IMR is designed to trace out that link between brand strength and profitable growth. And we contrast it with market mix modeling, which is a much simpler and more naive approach to assessing the impact of marketing effectiveness, where you just find the direct impact of digital display. Does it drive sales, yes or no? And that doesn't answer all of the questions that our clients need answering. And why do clients not do it? Well, increasingly they are. It's our new default methodology. But I think really it's more complicated, and we need to take clients on a journey with us. So differentiation, I think. I think those brands that can successfully persuade consumers that they're different, that there's a meaningful difference that consumers are willing to pay for, those are the ones that are going to thrive and survive. We do a lot of work in consumer packaged goods. And, you know, if you want a can of Coke, there are lots, or a can of cola, sorry, there are lots of different variations you can buy. I'm showing the brand recognition there. So it's those companies that can persuade, it's those clients that can persuade customers that their own variant is worth more. Those are the ones that are going to survive. Those are the ones that are going to grow their profitability. because those are the ones that are going to be able to resist the move towards everything becoming a commodity and being sold at the cheapest price possible. So it's all about differentiation, and marketing can go a long way towards helping that.